Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now, this one, in a way, kind of a special track. IATT have released a special track, as it were. They just recently released their album Nomenclature, which came out to great reviews. I've done a couple of videos talking about some of their music before, and I've really enjoyed it. Now, what they've done is they've released a track called December 28th. Now, this track, December 28th, it was originally an instrumental track on a 3-track EP called St. Vitus's Dance, which was, I believe they self-released that back in 2018. What they've done now is they've re-released the track, but they've revamped it a little bit. The old instrumental version is actually 1.5 minutes shorter than this new version, which comes in at just over 9 minutes. And the song has been updated. They've actually added vocals to it, orchestral elements, and they've added new guitar phrasing to it. They've altered some of the guitar phrasing. Now, the reason for the release of this track is it comes in light of a doomsday prognostication that has come to surface in the last month or two, in which an alleged rogue planet known as Nibiru, also known as the Destroyer, Wormwood, the Frightener, the Terrible Comet, Hercolibus, and many other similar names, is apparently due to collide with Earth on December 28th. It is claimed that this so-called 10th planet of our solar system is on a 3,600-year cycle, and every time it passes close to the Earth, some kind of disaster occurs. Now, you would have thought we would have heard of this sort of thing before, but apparently not. And we all know how all previous doomsday predictions have turned out. But anyway, so they had this track called December 28th, which I believe they actually wrote on December 28th in 2015. But now they've added lyrics to it and, altered the song somewhat. So it should be very interesting to see what we've got. They have been nice enough to supply me with the vocals to the lyrics to the track as well, which, I must thank them very much for, since they've not been released on the internet or anything yet. But yes, we're going to jump into this track and see what we've got. So yes, December 28th by IATT. Let's have a look. Well, there you go. December 28th by IATT. Yeah, normally I'd pause halfway through that, but I got so wrapped up in the music that I forgot. That was a great piece of music. I mean, you can tell just by the actual piece of music that it was, you know, initially an instrumental piece of music. There's the lyrics to it. There isn't actually very much lyrics to it. There isn't much. There aren't many lyrics to the actual track. And, you know, the music in that track is phenomenal. You know, it's got elements of, like, progressive metal in there. You've got a bit of black metal thrown in there. You've got, like, melodic death in there, you know. And you've got that wonderful sort of orchestration in the background. It's very subtle, but it's there, and you'd notice if it wasn't. Now, they had been teasing this song for like a few weeks before it was released. They did a premiere of it like a day or two ago on another website, and I've been waiting for it to come up on YouTube so I could do this video for it. Excuse me. But yeah, that was a phenomenal piece of music. The instrumentation on that was just amazing, simply amazing. A beautiful, amazing piece of music, and I love the intro to that song. That sort of long, drawn out, sort of desolate feeling with that church bell tolling in the background. You know, and you just get a sense of like an apocalyptic wasteland with maybe one broken church standing there with its bell tolling. And the little video to it, I mean, there wasn't really much to the video per se, you know. It just showed a clock tower floating in water and all these little sort of comets flying by. You know, it definitely added a little something to the track. Now, the actual song, the actual lyrics, I actually like the lyrics to this. Like I said, there's very few, and, you know, they're not like really complicated, but they're very, very good in what they mean. I like what they mean. And the lyrics go, will we regret? Will we mourn? Our losses, our everything. Did you live free? Did you accomplish what was meant to be? And then they come in with it's a sort of chorus. It says, mend your mistakes, grudges, rehabilitate. And that's repeated, like, I think 3 times. But already in those first few lines, you get the idea of what this song is about. It says, will we regret? Will we mourn our losses, our everything? Did you live free? Did you accomplish what was meant to be? There's like, you know, if the end of the world does come, are you going to regret the way you lived your life? Have you lived your life to its fullest extent? Did you make the most of what time you had? You know, are you going to sit there and go, okay, the world is ending, I've done nothing with my life? Are you going to regret the fact that you didn't speak to that person that you had a crush on? Are you going to regret that you didn't go for that job that you really wanted? You know, live your life, do these things, you know, make your life memorable, make it something worth living. Don't just sit around doing nothing. And then, of course, there was that chorus, mend your mistakes, grudges, rehabilitate. You know, life is too short to hold grudges. Life is too short to be horrible to people. You know, mend fences, rebuild bridges. You know, don't hold grudges against people. It's pointless. It doesn't accomplish anything. You know, you're just wasting your life away by holding grudges for no reason. You know, what's the point? You know. And then it carried on. Destiny will not wait. Pride ruins everything. Time dissipates. Hug your loved ones and the ones you hate. Your legacy is almost over. Welcome to your fate. And then it does that chorus bit again. Mend your mistakes, grudges, rehabilitate. Again, repeated about 3 times. And then at the end, they just repeat, welcome to your fate, several times. And again there, it says, destiny will not wait. Pride ruins everything. Time dissipates. You know, the world is not going to stand by whilst you decide to do something with your life. It is constantly moving. You've got to do something with the time that you have. Otherwise, it's going to be too late, and you're going to have wasted your life doing nothing. You know. And it says there, hug your loved ones and the ones you hate. Your legacy is almost over. Welcome to your fate. again saying, you know, life is too short for holding grudges. You know, hold your loved ones close. You know, they are one of the most important factors in your life. Hold your and it says and the ones you hate. So again, forgive the people that maybe have wronged you. Don't sit there holding grudges, stewing over something that's happened years and years and years ago. You know, there's no point to it. You know, even if you know you might not speak to them ever again, but there's no point in holding hate in your mind and holding hate in your heart over something that you can't do anything about anymore. You know, it's done. If you don't speak to them, that's fine. But there's no point in holding all that anger inside you, because it eats away at you at the inside. And, you know, do something more positive with your life than sitting there hating someone. It says your legacy is almost over. You know, so, you know, you're almost at the end of your life. The world has almost come to an end. What is all this hate and anger accomplished? Really, nothing. You might as well do something more productive. So, you know, I like what the song is saying. Again, you know, I love songs with meaning. You know, I've said this many times, and you know, it's right. There is no real point in holding grudges or hate in your heart just because of something that's happened and you can't do anything about anymore. You know. And like I said, that piece of music was absolutely phenomenal. I love the guitar work in there. Some of those solos and riffs were just phenomenal. You know, great piece of music. Absolutely fantastic. And I would urge you to go and listen to the original version of December 28th, because when I first heard this was coming out, I did actually listen to the original version, which is on YouTube somewhere. In fact, I'll put a link to it below, so you can check that out should you wish to. But yeah, outstanding piece of music. Absolutely loved it. This band are just top notch. You know, everything I've checked out of this it's just been brilliant. And yeah, I'm glad I checked this one out. Very good. Be interested to see what comes out next from them. If they carry on in the way that they've gone this year, whatever they release next should be brilliant. But not think much else to say on that, so I'm going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support the channel. There is also an option in there to get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, but there are limitations and provisos that come along with that, such as only being able to do it once a month, to be fair to anybody else who suggests tracks through normal means. And if you do suggest a track through normal means, know that it might take me a while to get to it, due to the fact that I get suggested so many tracks every single day that my list grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It might take me a while to get there. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those involving people of the alternative culture. And it's something that I very strongly believe in, something I think definitely needs more attention bringing to it. Because every single day, all over the world, people are getting violently attacked, getting beaten to within an inch of their lives, just purely for the fact that they listen to alternative music. You know, and it's ridiculous, because you know these people are getting they're getting hospitalized, people are getting bones broken, you know, people are getting some serious injuries just because of their taste in music, and it's unacceptable that this is going on. And you know, every day we hear about various other hate crimes. We hear about sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism. You know, we hear about all of these things every day, from the most severe of cases where people are getting either killed or seriously injured, all the way down to the less extreme of these crimes where people are just getting an insult shouted at them across the street, or you know, entitled Karen is phoning the police because someone's having a picnic and she doesn't think they should be. You know, every facet of those is getting reported on, but nothing is getting said about these people that are getting violently attacked just because of their taste in music. And you know, people have said to me that it's not a hate crime. It is. It is a hate crime. People are getting violently attacked because one group hates something about the other group. That is the very definition of a hate crime. Attacking somebody because you have a prejudice against them, whether it is their taste in music, the colour of their skin, their sexual preference, their sexual identity, whatever it is a hate crime. And nothing's getting done about these attacks on people of the alternative culture, and that needs to change. Because, you know, the last time there was a high-profile case of this happening, the last time there was widespread media acknowledgement of the fact that this happened was nearly 12 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked. They were jumped by a group of 5 or 6 people and violently attacked. They were kicked, punched, they had their heads stamped on. They were violently attacked, and they both ended up in comas. Now, Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He was in a coma for over a week, I think. I can't remember exactly how long it was, about a week, maybe more. But Sophie Lancaster, she was in a coma for 13 days before she eventually succumbed to her injuries. She was murdered because of her taste in music, because she listened to alternative music and wore alternative fashion. And that was the last time there was a widespread media coverage of the fact that this happened. And that was, like I said, 12 years ago. Now, I can guarantee you, in the 12 years since that happened, several hundred, maybe thousands more people of the alternative community have encountered a similar attack. People have been violently attacked. They've been punched, possibly even stabbed. They've been beaten, possibly had bones broken, had to go to hospital for something or other. But nothing's been said about it. And that needs to change. And that's what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, so that people will know that there are consequences to their actions and there are penalties for committing these crimes, because we cannot continue to let them get away with it. You know, it's unacceptable that nothing is getting done about these violent attacks. You know, and you know, we need to stop what happened to Sophie Lancaster ever happening again. It should never have happened in the first place. But we cannot and absolutely must not let it ever happen again. If you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, and find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, obviously you don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, like a small donation to their website, or even something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, you know, if you can help them out in any small way, it's greatly appreciated. The smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner more people will start talking about it, and the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.